It's important that we go into ramps because they come up quite a bit, and though it's something I've talked about before, this time I have some specific examples of how they come up in traffic reports to show you. If you will. No, you won't.
Exit 1A, I'll go 1C.
This is on southbound 635.
And flicker in. Now, where am I?
That sign said 20 eastbound.
If I saw backups about a mile back, the problem is on this here road. Where is the problem? What would you call this road? What is the name of this location?
You should be familiar with that ramp from a previous video I showed you, but that is a ramp. It's not one highway or another. It's a ramp from one highway to another, and that's one of the types of ramps. Another type is an exit ramp, and those are usually easier to deal with. Like in this example, in Dallas, exit ramp closed on 635 LBJ Freeway eastbound at TI Boulevard. It's really the exit ramp of eastbound 635 LBJ Freeway. It's not really sitting on because it's exiting eastbound 635. So I would advise changing the on to of here. The entrance ramp of or the exit ramp of in cases where you have an entrance ramp or an exit ramp. I would advise it. I wouldn't require it though because it is dangerous changing your on street. I mean your word on before the on street. Here are some pictures. This is I-30, I think. I-30 eastbound. And so here is the exit ramp to 635. This is a picture of 635 and 80. They don't intersect, but as you can see, there are ramps to get from one highway to another in either direction. You can see 8 ramps here. So quite a few ramps from one highway to another. Right here, you've seen this picture before, eastbound 80 at 635. And here's the exit ramp to southbound 635. And here's another picture of ramps from northbound 635 to westbound 30, and so on. Now, here's an example where it mostly starts to get confusing for people, or they just blur right through it and it doesn't sound good. They might say, in Dallas, ramps are closed on westbound 635 at 35E. The ramp to 35E southbound is closed due to the accident on 635. One, that's kind of confusing for a listener to hear because they're like, wait, there's an accident on 635? I hadn't heard about that. And as you can see if you look over this is an accident on 635 at 35E. So these are the exact same point. So this is the same situation. You need to pair these two together. But another thing I want to point out is it said ramps closed. But it's only one ramp that's closed. You have to do interpretation when it comes to reading Total Traffic Network. The ramp that is closed is the ramp from what street to what street? Well, you know it's 235E southbound, and it's supposedly on westbound 635, which means it's from westbound 635 to 35E southbound. So when you come to ramps, it's going to be a ramp from the on street to the at street. That's how you convert it with ramp issues. But in this case, since they're referring to the same place, in Dallas, 635 westbound has an accident blocking the 2 left lanes at 35E. It's also caused the ramp from westbound 635 to southbound 35E to be closed. And traffic on westbound 635 is stopped from 75 Central Expressway. Look for alternate routes at Royal Lane, Walnut Hill, or Northwest Highway. And I probably should have said on Royal Lane, Walnut Hill, and Northwest Highway because those aren't at streets, those are other streets you could get on to take them. But I hope you get what I'm meaning by these ramp reports. If it's an exit ramp or entrance ramp, your on street becomes of, or just leave it as on. It's better to be safe than wrong. But when it's from one street to another, it will come up in Dallas, ramp closed on at, but really it's the ramp from westbound 635 to 35E, and it tries to elucidate that later, but it gets to where it seems repetitive, as it says at 35E, the ramp to 35E. It's just trying to explain it better, when really you can explain it more concisely by saying the ramp from westbound 635 to southbound 35E.